Do you like working in your garden?
Well, actually, I prefer to quilt my gardens.
Keep watching. Hi, it's Donna Robertson.
And Fran Morgan with Fabric Café.
We have some flowers to plant today.
We do. I'm so excited to share. They're just beautifully colored, and I'm sure everything is coming up roses.
They'll make every quilt you make a beautiful garden. So let's get started. So the very first one we're going to work with is Easy Street. Easy Street was one that I designed, and it was like at the end of a book, and I was getting ready to design the last quilt, and it was just stubborn, and so I put it aside, and I said, I'm going to do something else. And I sat there and designed this so fast, I said, this one's an Easy Street, and it goes together that fast. So let's put this up here. So it was easy to design, and it's easy to make.
And this is gorgeous.
This is gorgeous. You know, this is the first year I've ever had roses.
Oh,
yeah.
In your garden?
In my gardens, I have roses. I'd never had roses before, and I am still learning exactly what to do with those, but they are beautiful, and I love them. So this is the #1 fabric. It's going to go in this spot. You know, they are truly the star of the garden. So this one is gorgeous. It's going to go here, and then it's sashed with the #3 fabric. And then the next one, you actually make this cool little block. It's really easy to do, even though it looks kind of like, now how did you do this? So if you hand me the cropper, I'll show you how this block is made. Because you're going to make one block like this. You just border it on two sides. See how
That's very
cool
clever.
that is? And then you're going to do the same thing over here, so that whenever you turn these, so you've got one block over here, like so. Let me turn it here and here. And then when you turn that, it creates that block that you're making.
That is great.
So, yeah, it's a lot of fun. So anyway, so you've got the 4-patch here. That's really a stylized 4-patch. You've got your floral, then you have your beautiful, look how this is like etches on a surface of a quilt.
Great.
Gorgeous. And then the #3 fabric is here, and that'll be your border of your quilt and the sashing and the blocks. So it's really the accent color.
It really is. Now, before we move further, we've got a great image on the screen for you to see this made up. So I think it just looks fantastic in these colors. And you know, as you're looking at this quilt, something that's really interesting about Tyler, Texas, which is where we're from, is Tyler is the rose capital. And we have roses all over the place. It's just beautiful. So in this quilt, you can see how beautifully it highlights those roses. So what's our kit number?
8022233 Greenhouse Afternoons. And it's Easy Street from the book Easy Peasy 3-Yard Quilts.
So our next quilt is called Dash, and this is one of our favorites around here at Fabric Café because it goes together so well and it highlights your fabric so beautifully. So we've got something really special for you and some pieces and parts. Let's check them out. This kit is just so striking, and every once in a while when we get our pieces and parts pulled together, I just look at them and think, we should have done a whole quilt. Because this one is really special.
I think they do too.
So this is our dash pattern, and it is in our book Easy Peasy. And in the pattern, you can see it steps it out very simply. Now it looks a little bit like a tricky block, but it's not. It's basically strip pieced and units and sashed with solid blocks. So we're going to step through that with the pieces and parts here so that you can see that. So cool. So as I mentioned here, we have our strip piece section. I always want to put this back down so that I'm sure that all of you can see exactly what I'm doing. And so we just have 3 strips that we've sewn together, and then we just take our cutter and cut a piece off, and this will create a unit like this. Very simple. Now our alternate block on our dash pattern, I'm going to move it over here so that you can see, it's just one of these units, and then we have 2 little strips that we sew on each side. So that is so very simple.
Now, it's a super simple block.
It's so easy, and it kind of makes that float, that little square in there. Then we cut 2 other blocks from our #1 and our #3 fabric. This one goes on the gray spot, and Then we have our next one. Is this not just a gorgeous fabric? You know what? Can I put it, I'm going to put it here so all of you guys can see it a little better, since we're a little limited on space here, that you can see how great that's going to go together. Now these rows, it's done in horizontal rows, also have a sashing piece. If we put that in there, you see how great that looks. I just think
I love that one.
this is so charming.
I like the way that they're offset too, with using a smaller block and a larger block.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. And I think dash would also be a great pattern if you had a directional fabric, because your fabric 1 and 3 are cut independently so that you can make sure they're turned the right way. And so that's a good tip too. So if you're looking for an easy, fun pattern for directional fabric, that would be awesome. In this case, it's not directional, but it works perfectly, so easy. So
That's
just
great.
gorgeous. Just love it.
Love it.
All right, let's talk about this fabric kit here so you can get the information. Our number 1 is this gorgeous blue, and I love the colors in this. It's
I
just,
do too.
I love the way the dark blue outlines. And then our number 2 fabric is this fun star that coordinates so well. And our number 3 is the black. And you can see how beautifully these go together with the pieces and parts. Our kit name is Glenfern Estates, and the number is 8022234 with our dash pattern.
Now this one's called Town Square. Town Square is one of them that has a big block here. It seems to look great in any fabric you want to use, and you just take this one block and you're going to basically border it or sash it, but you've got 2 different colors. It's fun to make this one. So let's put that up here and we'll show you how it works.
This is great, and you know, these fabrics that we have for this kit here, that pumpkin color has gotten so
it is so
popular.
Yeah. It's like a few years ago, you didn't see orange or pumpkin or cantaloupe at
Right,
all. And now you've got all these beautiful shades.
And it's blended gorgeously in this one.
It is gorgeous. So this particular one is the number 1 fabric is going to be highlighted right here in this section. The number 2 and number 3 fabrics are compared, and in this case we used the same exact fabrics, just like we kind of did. Well, they're not exact, but these are both Cafe fabrics here. We've sold out of this one. So we've got our green. The green's going to go here. The pumpkin color is going to go here, so it'll really frame this fabric.
Oh, I love that.
I like it too. This one is called In the Garden. It's 8022143. It's Town Square pattern, and that's available in the Easy Peasy and as an individual. And if you're liking this, since we've already showed you a couple that are from the Easy Peasy book, remember, rather than taking an individual pattern with each kit, which you normally get free, you can skip those little patterns, buy 3 kits, and you can get a book free, and you just might want to pick Easy Peasy.
That's a great deal. Thank you. Our next pattern is Diamond Dust. Now this is a pretty cool and unique pattern because instead of using a half square triangle, we have actually put together some half rectangles for you. Now if I mess up and say half square triangle because I'm so used to saying that instead of half rectangle, please remember this is a half rectangle. So I've got some pieces and parts. Let's check them out. You know, I'm always doing that. I mean half rectangle. I can't even hardly say it. And it's not half square triangle.
When we first started making half rectangles, I used to call them half square rectangles.
That's not right. But you know what's really cool is we have a great video on how to work with half rectangles that I think really helped me whenever I started working with them, because they're fun. And I know after you've done half square triangles for a while, it's kind of neat to do something different.
Yeah, and they have their own unique twists.
They do. They absolutely do. Okay, so let's talk about this. So this is our Diamond Dust pattern. It is from the book Modern Views. And in the pattern, of course, we step through with illustrations exactly how to make those. So watching the video and the pattern, it's going to be a breeze for you. So let's look at these pieces and parts. So we have actually made all of our half rectangles. And as you can see here, I'm going to move this off to the side so that you can see it is not a square. It is a rectangle.
It's a block, though.
It is a block.
Yeah.
And we're just going to make half rectangles for this pattern. and we just lay them out and put them together. Now this beautiful floral here that we're making our block with is a cafe, and it is our #1 fabric. And look how this goes together. This is just gorgeous, and I love these together. Now, what's really interesting about diamond dust that I've only recently kind of consciously went, oh, and that is in the diamond dust pattern, pick an interesting #2 fabric.
You can see how we use that print, a little tone-on-tone print there. So it's not so flat because a lot of that #2 fabric is going to show. So if you want a little bit of interest in there, that's a good point.
I think this is really great because we've got it alternate. Now you've got your #3 here, in this case is a solid, and it does give you a little bit of a place for your eye to rest, especially because we have used a couple of bold prints, which I think is wonderful, that really makes it look great. So our #1, as we said, is this beautiful cape in all of these just yummy colors. It's almost like gardens at the midnight, you know, on the dark. And then our #2 is the blue and the white. And our #3 is this wonderful solid. Now this is an interesting solid because it kind of has hints of blue and it kind of has hints of purple in it. So this kit number is 8021854. It is called Floral Pagoda. This is our diamond dust pattern from the Modern Views book, and it's also available as an individual.
But wait, there's more.
Do we have more? Oh, it looks like we have a last chance for you. And this is a gorgeous last chance. Just love this. So the blues, the greens, the purple, awesome. Now this is #1, so it's going to go in this section here.
Yes, that's going to be gorgeous.
So very nice. And true to form, as our #2, we have a #2 that is the lightest of the remaining 2, but it also has some interest, and it coordinates beautifully with the other 2. So this will be the secondary diamond and the backdrop for #1 fabric. And then our #3 fabric is this gorgeous blue that just coordinates perfectly with our focus.
And it just kind of frames, if you look right here, you can see how this frames the #2 fabric.
It's perfect. I just really like it. Okay, so this last chance, and if you haven't found our last chance kits, be sure to go to our website, fabriccafe.com, click on the kit tab, and then it's in our pull down list under our kit tab, and it's called Last Chance. So you'll find this here, and the number is 8022235. It's called Floral Daydream. This is Diamond Dust from the Modern Views book.
Now this one is called Garden Path. Garden Path is one, again, that shows off the big floral prints. You know, one of the reasons we give you so much of these quilts with have a big block, because we like to show off those focus fabrics, and it makes the quilts go together really fast as well. So we have a block of interest here with our solid, and let's put that up here and look at this great fabric. Now, I think this is really sweet, the way that the #3 fabric really pulls that raspberry, is it raspberry? Kind of a purpley raspberry color. And so this is the #1. It's going to be in the big block. And then, of course, we want our #2 to be the lightest so that it really does cause the #3, which has the design elements, to pop off of the surface of the quilt. And it also works really well with that #3. See how gorgeous that is together.
That is gorgeous.
So this one is called Garden Path, and the pattern, and it's 8022236, Leafy Meadow, and it is in the book Fast and Fun, or as an individual pattern.
Wow, and guess what?
What, we got more?
We have another last chance for you. So look at these.
Yes, I love these. These are these big, huge flowers, so they're going to look so good.
That's a big block, so that'll work perfect.
It will be. And you know, don't worry about a big print like this. A lot of people think they want to fussy cut everything, but it would take you so much more fabric to fussy cut these big flowers. It will look gorgeous if you have the big flowers, even if you just have a part of it. I loved Georgia O'Keeffe's. Remember her beautiful flowers that she painted? And a lot of times they would just be really up close, and part of it would be cut off.
It's like you're peeking through a window.
Yeah, gorgeous. So this is our number 1 fabric. It's going to go in the large blocks. The number 2 is this fun button fabric. I really like that, with the little touches of the pinks and the reds. And then the number 3 fabric to kind of pop off of the surface of the quilt is your black with a little bit of the, like a watercolor dot. And that will also frame it beautifully. So this one is a last chance, and this one has only 3 remaining. It's 8022237, Peony Paradise, and Garden Path is the name of the pattern from the book Fast and Fun.
Our next quilt is called It's a Breeze. Okay, so I just did half rectangles. Now we're working with half square triangles. And this is a really fun one to put together because we've just made our half square triangles in different colors, put them together for this fun summertime feel and a great border. So let's check this out. Oh, how sweet this fabric is. I just love it. This is going to work great in our It's a Breeze pattern.
It will.
Really wonderful. Now this is kind of unique too, because traditionally we would recommend putting our largest print in the number 1 fabric. And in this case, we've put it in the number 2 fabric, which is a great example and a good time to kind of mention that you can put any of your fabric cuts, any 1 yard, into any position as long as you cut all of the pieces from that position. So they're very interchangeable, which makes it kind of fun too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's where you get to put your own creative touches on every one of the 3-yard quilt patterns.
Absolutely. It is great. So our number 1 is this green, and it is going to be in our pinwheels, and it will be made with the number 2, the floral. So what's going to happen is this little floral is going to be in all of the little pinwheels, which I think is great. And these coordinate so well together. And then our number 3 fabric, which is this kind of yummy dusty pink, which is so great, will also be a pinwheel block with our floral, our number 2. And then both our 2 and our 3 will be on the border. So the kit number on this one is 8022238, and it's called Among the Wildflowers. That's a great name. And the pattern is It's a Breeze from the Modern View book, or it's also available as an individual.
Okay, the next one that we have, we're going to harken back to a little more traditional style of quilt pattern. This one is called Heartland, and I had a lot of fun designing this, and I have yet to find a fabric that didn't just look gorgeous as long as you get that focus, light, and dark. So let's put that over here. Well, I know this one's not wildflowers, but they're kind of the sunflowers and everything.
Yeah,
I can
like
see
this.
I can see a field with all of these flowers growing in it.
It feels very folksy and homey.
Yeah, I like that. So this one is going to be the focal fabric, so it's going to go here and here. And then if you just use your imagination, it's super easy to see. You've got this scrolly fabric here in the number 2 position so that you can really see those half square triangles and the block in the number 3 fabric. And then we're also going to use that number 3 over here to sash the block.
That is great.
You can make it in just about any kind of fabric and you're going to love it. So this one is called Farmstand Flowers, and it's 8022109. It's Heartland pattern, and it is available in the book Pretty Darn Quick.
Oh, very nice. Now, we have a last chance for you, one more, and I love these reds.
Ooh, yeah.
This is, I mean, something about just the contrast of the red and the white, or red and cream in this case, just really, I like that. It's just, it feels good to me.
Strawberries and cream.
Maybe that's what it is. It makes me hungry for strawberries. So this is just a gorgeous floral here. And the background is really cool because it has just a little subtle print to it. So it really is lovely. And then our number 2 is this gorgeous, perfectly coordinated with this. It's like a little dot. And then our number 3 with the red that will really pop it off. So that red is going to go in these parts here and in our triangles. And what I really appreciate about the kits that we've pulled together for this pattern is it does require that high contrast so that these triangles really pop.
Yes.
And I think that's real important when you're choosing Heartland and your fabrics. So this is a last chance, and the number is 8022239. It is called a Rustic Bouquet, and it is our Heartland pattern from Pretty Darn Quick Book.
Well, that was just too fun.
It was so much fun, and it kind of makes me want to go garden for real, but not really. I really just want to go quilt with my garden fabric.
And, yeah, me too. So hope you have a great evening. It's Donna Robertson
and Fran Morgan.